Hello everyone and welcome to Vostok Talk. In this video, I'll be talking about this amazing Vostok watch. This is a Vostok Buran and it's probably made in the 1970s or even less. Buran in Russian means blizzard, and the watch was made in collaboration with Polyanaya Aviatsiya, which means polar aviation. And this is an airplane service that serviced the Soviet Union to expeditions to the North Pole. At the top, there's a depiction of a polar bear, which is an animal native to the northern hemisphere or the North Pole. And at the bottom, you can see 3 penguins, and this is actually the logo of the current Aeroflot. As you might guess, the current airplane service do not exist, and it has been bought by Aeroflot, which is currently the #1 airplane service in Russia. And finally, at the bottom of the watch, you can see the logo of the Soviet Union. Someone online actually found the history of the watch, and as you can see here, this is the logo depicted on the watch, which is also the Polar Aviation logo. And now let's take a look at the back of the watch. The back of the watch is very different from Vostok watches that were made in Russia. So this sign says made in the USSR in both Russian at the top and in English at the bottom. And you can also see a serial number. So the claim online about this watch is that this watch was initially made for the Italian market by Vostok. Now the winding mechanism is slightly different than the hand winding mechanism of the normal Vostok Commander's key. And I figured it out by just tinkering with it. So firstly, if you want to change the time, you can move the minute hand just by pulling these sides out and winding it. However, if you want to wind this mechanism, you can actually just move on the opposite direction of the watch, and you can feel like some spring movement, and you don't have to wind it too much, and then afterwards you can really start just like that. So from my experience, the winding mechanism is actually much more superior than the more modern Vostok Commander's key. So perhaps this might be more of like an amphibia model inside, with perhaps a 2416A movement instead. The Vostok Buran is perhaps my oldest Vostok watch. I do have other old Vostok watch, but none as old as this one and in working condition. Hence, this is one of my most loved and valuable pieces. What do you think of the Vostok Buran?